This is the Roadplay app on the trail. I'm going to go up here and click on Trail. I'm going to advance 9 instructions until it gets away from the main program and to one of the routines. So advance it, advance it, advance it. Now it went to one of the routines in subprogram 7, tab 7. Here's where we see it's setting up the line segments to make a line. We advance. Here we see it ready to take, well, first it makes the pattern, uses the pad L to make a pattern from the pad L list that we made above. Then it sets the control register to use the pattern to make a dots list. Then it sets the value of Q, which is the width of the line. It's going to do a line, and let's advance 9. And we see, indeed, it did the line, and here it is. Then it sets PS to picture 63, which is one of the tiles, and it's going to go around this loop and make a series of 6 tiles for the playlist. So we go ahead and ahead. And once it does that, it's going to do the road. The road starts with the dot list of this line and then change it so that it has a point every 12 pixels. And it'll tell you how many in this value here, M. And in value here, there will be an X and Y value. X comes first, then Y, X, then Y. So there's 2 values for every point, and there are M points. And then the length, though, of the number of values there are altogether is 2 times M, and that's what N becomes. Well, let's advance the trail. This is the one that has a weight in it. When it gets to this horizontal line, the 6 tiles are going to wait for 50 ticks. Here it says the weight is 50, and below here we'll see that it adjusts the T by W, the weight. We'll advance. Then it goes home from that routine, and it's going to start another routine. This, subprogram 7, tab 8. It's going to be another segment list here for pat L. And the X and Y for a pattern set to 500, 500, which is the center of patterns. We advance it, and then it uses that pat L list to make a pattern, and then down here it makes a dot list out of the pattern, sets the width of the line to 3, and made this line. We'll advance again. Now it says I'm going to make the play data using the letters FAST, which are stored by number in list A. And here it goes around and makes the 4 letters. We'll advance 9 until we get around there the 4 times. And then it takes the dot list it made above for this line and makes it into a road in which each point is 30 pixels apart. See, an even distance, so when it goes around, it'll go at a steady speed, 30 pixels at a time. Then again, it uses M, multiplies it by 2 to get N, puts the beginning of the value list at the end of the value list so that it'll be able to put these in sequence even when it's at the end. Multiplies M by 3 because it's going to want to slow it down because the letters are moving around too fast if it didn't slow it down. So it multiplied it by 3, so that t has to go to a number 3 times the size of m, but then when it gets the answer, it divides it by 3, so it gets back to the number of points that it actually has, and then it multiplies that by 2 because there's 2 values in the value list for each one. So it says that the letters start at the xy values at value plus t. Then it goes home from that particular routine, and it goes to subprogram 7, tab 9. And here it is in tab 9. It gets the given pattern 23. That pattern is a 3-pointed star. Well, we'll advance 9 again. Then it looks for the tick value and puts it in R. And it's going to vary R from 0 to 95. And then it'll go back to 0 and to 95 again. Multiplies it by 10. Then the answer is going to go from 0 to 950. And it's going to use that to go around in a circle, the way that vectors do. Sets the size to 140, sets the x and y value, and does a pattern. Therefore, creating a dots list again. And here in Q, it sets the width of the line. We'll advance 9 again, and there it is. It made the star pattern. And this is then the road, just like these were the road, except they were made by the Pat L line segments, and this actually was made from a given pattern. We advance 9 again. Then it says here it's going to perform the play using the road xy's at value plus t, and the play data, which is just one thing, and that's this pattern. Then it goes home. We advance it 9 more, and we see that it's going in a loop with vectors in it. We're going to start going through that loop. It's going to make its 24-point star. It's going to take it a while, so we'll keep going. There it is. Makes the 24-point star that shows the directions that Pat L can use. Then we go a little further, and we see it putting the numbers around the outside of it. Going around a loop for each number and putting at the end of each point. And then it put the word directions there near the top of it. Advance 9 more, makes a brown box. Here we can see the color brown, and it fills a rectangle with that color. Then it sets that rectangle as a clickable box. We'll click number 47, then it checks to see if 47 was clicked, but it wasn't, so it went to AM, setting a font, and then we see it place in there this text. Click here for Pat L examples. We'll click 9 more, and we see exit. That's the Roadplay trail.